Like, fuck you, you little fucking broken condom. Like, you piece of shit. Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of Memes and Dreams. This is episode 5 now. My name's Adam, and with me is my co-host Jason.
Hello.
Today we're going to be, so we're back from the 2-week hiatus. I'm back from Lebanon, and we're going to be hitting it up with some pretty good topics today. First off, we're going to be talking about the meme of the week, and then we're going to be talking about the scuffle that occurred between Tristan Thompson and Draymond Green. We're going to be talking a little bit about Carmelo getting his bank from various moves with the NBA. I'm going to be sharing some of my stories from Lebanon and how everything was over there. We're going to be talking a little bit about the rise of the Shiggy Challenge, and also known as the Kiki Challenge, and where it was when it started and what it is now. And then we're going to be discussing some of the expectations of 2019 entertainment, varying from television to different movies that we're all super anticipating. So without further ado, let's go ahead and get started. Jason, if you want to tell us a little bit about the meme of the week?
Yeah, so this week's meme comes from Shannon Sharp. He was on, I think it's the new Fox show with him and Skip Bayless. He got memeified hard. Yeah. He was asked a question. Skip Bayless asking something. And he responded like, "Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem. Yeah, no problem." Like a really squeaky voice, and people just took off with it, like putting it in front of all kinds of scenarios for it, and like I saw one is like, "Can I have a 12-piece nugget with 4 of these sauces, 5 Polynesian sauces, 4 ranches," and it's like Chick-fil-A employee, no problem.
That one's perfect, by the way.
Yeah,
that's Chick-fil-A employees are always like that. Yeah. They're so damn nice.
Yeah, like, my pleasure.
They make me feel bad for ordering food, for all the right reasons.
Yeah. And so a bunch of other stuff happened with it. I can pull some up here real quick.
Yeah, and I'll be putting some in the link below. I'll go ahead and link some of the ones that we saw, or the ones that we like the best. Yeah, you got on there.
I'll give you. It's like God saying this. I'll give you NFL career, 3 Super Bowls, 8 Pro Bowls, introduction to a Hall of Fame, but after retirement, you'll have to work with real Skip Bayless, hearing about his beloved Cowboys every day. Shannon Sharp. No problem. Because that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So yeah, it got really big for about a week. It's kind of died down now. So this is a pretty solid meme of the week.
Yeah, and you'll see it. You'll see it on the video here.
Yeah.
So we went ahead and chose that for the meme of the week. And while we're on the topic of sports and sports-related things, we're going to be discussing Tristan Thompson, who apparently sucker punched Draymond Green. And this was at an after party?
Yeah, after party for the ESPYs. I think it was last week or the week before. And
So what went down there?
So from what I read, just out of nowhere, he sucker punched Draymond, and then KD and LeBron had to break it up. Which
those are the guys to break up a fight.
Yeah.
they all they have to do is say it and then break it up.
So that happened, and then Cleveland Cavaliers fans got wind of it. And they created an event on Facebook to have a celebration parade for Tristan Thompson for punching him, which is cool because that's going to be the only parade they're going to be having for a while after LeBron's leaving.
Accurate.
Yeah.
Bye, Cleveland. Never going to see you in playoffs again.
Yeah.
I love Cleveland fans because
they know that they suck.
Yeah, they know they suck, and they embrace it.
Yeah.
And they're sporadic, and they're messy. And it makes for some good fucking content.
They had a parade when the Browns were 0-16 last year.
That's how you gotta do it.
Yeah.
When you're garbage, you gotta go with it.
You gotta own it. And
otherwise,
they own it.
Yeah. So props to the
garbage
Cleveland fans.
Team for a garbage city. So.
Yay! Wow, we're gonna get a lot of Cleveland hate. The one person listening from Cleveland's gonna be like, "Come on, guys."
Right.
Yeah. So on the subject of NBA, Carmelo.
He's been hustling.
He hustled so hard. And so, as a Rockets fan, I'm incredibly excited to see him in Houston. I'm excited to see like the dynamic that he's going to bring with the team that we have now after all the crazy trades and all that shakiness went down. But Carmelo went. Who's the first team that he got traded
to? So he was on the Thunder, and then they don't want to pay his ass, and so they traded him to the Hawks. And then the Hawks bought out his contract because they don't want his ass either. And so he made like $28 million in 5 days.
When everything was said and done.
Yeah.
$28 million.
And then he signed with the Rockets to make
Then
more money.
Yeah. So when all this stuff was going out about like on Instagram, like different like sports blogs were posting like, oh wow, yeah, Carmelo looks like he's not going to the Rockets. We all knew he's fucking going to the Rockets, and obviously he was going to be pulling some stuff like this. So I thought it was really funny that everyone's just like, oh man, I don't know. It looks like Houston's not getting him. We got him. We nabbed him.
He like finessed the whole NBA.
Finessed the shit out of it.
Because he made more in 5 days than like 5 of the top players in the NBA are going to be making next year. Like that's just ridiculous.
That's insane.
Yeah.
And I think that's the way to do it, especially like nowadays with the way that the league is now.
Yeah. Like, nobody stays on the team forever anymore. Besides Kobe, and then, like, Dirk. He's going to break Kobe's record once the season starts for 21 straight seasons on the Mavericks. Like, that just doesn't happen anymore.
You know what? We're making good time, so I want to ask you this question. Because this has been brought up a lot. I had this argument in Lebanon. Do you feel... I know there might be a biased opinion here, you fucking Warriors fan. But do you feel like NBA teams that are acquiring this talent, these like big time players and these superstars, do you feel like that might be hurting the league?
Yes and no. Like, yes, because it kind of makes the league one-sided, but it's a fair shot. Everybody has a chance to sign those players. It's just they can't. And
I think it's a lot more tactical now.
Yeah.
And you have to make plans early. You have to figure out what you're going to do.
Like what LeBron did, like he knew he was going to LA before the season even ended, because he got the contracts with his 2 players out of LA when they got traded from LA to the Cavs. That took off a lot of cap room for LeBron to go there, so he knew what he was doing. So.
Yeah. And LA, of course, has all of the movie opportunities, the entertainment opportunities that will allow LeBron and his family's there, right?
Yeah.
But it will allow him to take the next step into being more of an icon rather than just, one of the greatest basketball players of all time.
Yeah.
I think that's, it's a fair assessment.
Yeah.
Do you think that Kawhi Leonard is going to still try and make moves to move into Los Angeles?
I do. Like, I don't know what to think of Kawhi. It's so hard to get a read on him. Like, it was shocking the way his career ended in San Antonio. I did not see that happening.
Right?
Like, he just
Thought he had a bright future in San Antonio.
Yeah, he swerved them hard as fuck. Like, he went from being the franchise player to the most hated person in San Antonio, the way he treated them. So, I think he'll play his 1 year in Toronto, and then gut feeling says he's going to go to LA. Like, I think LeBron's expectations for LA are going to be low. I don't think they plan on winning a whole lot this first year.
Yeah.
I think they're loading up for next year.
You have to be.
Yeah.
So this year is kind of a toss-up, really.
Yeah.
I think that I'd like to see both. One way or the other. I'd like to see him. On one side, I'd like to see him in Toronto with a country behind him to really make some moves and get him at least in a better spot than they have been in the past. Which would be really neat to see.
Especially since LeBron's not in the East anymore. That whole conference is wide open.
So now, Eastern Conference is his for the taking, essentially.
Yeah.
And so we could see some major moves there. But on the other side, I would also like to see the dynamic between LeBron and Kawhi playing side by side.
Yeah.
On the Lakers.
And then there's also rumors that KD will join them like next year. So.
That'd be insane.
Yeah.
And then you see all of the Warriors jerseys turned into Lakers jerseys.
Yes. Mine included.
I know what to get you for your birthday, motherfucker. So, okay. Cool. Well, that's good stuff there.
That's NBA talk.
That's NBA talk. So now I'm going to talk a little bit about Lebanon. Now, for those of you who aren't familiar with Lebanon, I get because it's a small country all in all, but it's a country in the Middle East. It's on the it borders the Mediterranean Sea. It also borders Israel, Syria, like a lot of the more controversial countries. However, Lebanon has kept the ability to to be called a tourist destination, even after different wars and different bombings and all of this crazy kind of violence. The government still kept pretty intact, which I think is pretty phenomenal, and it speaks to the character of the Lebanese people. So I am Lebanese. That's where my family's from, and I like to visit whenever I can. So I just got back. I went this year, and I went last year as well. But this year, a couple stories about it. Now, the first thing is we got there, and we got picked up by we had two drivers to drive us around Lebanon while we were there, because the traffic in Lebanon is insane. I don't mean insane rush hour traffic. I mean insane they don't follow lane lines, any guidance. There's no stop signs. No, they're completely optional. More so, the stoplights are optional. If you go to Lebanon ever, take a taxi, please, because otherwise you'll get into an accident. And getting into an accident with a Lebanese person is not something you want to do, because I've been cursed out in Arabic before, and it hurts. Because I don't even...
Just cuts different.
It cuts different. It's like, wow, this is an international, kind of thing here. And it's the driving's so intense, but it's also contextual. What I mean by contextual is, you got to figure out where everyone's at, and everyone's constantly kind of, keeping an eye on everyone else. It weirdly works, but at the same time, if you're not from there, you'll easily get into an accident. So we got two drivers. One of them was a super professional guy. He's a very cordial, very nice. He kept quiet, whenever we were all talking, and he just knew how to drive us places. The other guy, his name's Jack. Jack is, right when we got picked up from the airport, he immediately started talking shit about the other driver. So we're okay. We're just sitting there all right, dude, just take us to the fucking hotel. But he's like, yeah, he's driving all slow to make it look like he's better than me and all this shit. And just from him saying that to me, I didn't like Jack. I liked the other driver just from talking to Jack, because he made me feel, Jack made me feel very uncomfortable, which is the same concept if you're in a fucking Uber or a Lyft, is if you're Uber or Lyft driver, if the stuff they're talking about is not very interesting, you're trapped in that fucking car, and you're at the will of that driver. So you kind of just have to roll with it, and that was the feeling, especially in a place like Lebanon where the driving is super fucking scary. So we had to just nod our head and be totally,
yeah, man, yeah.
So we ended up. I think my dad ended up talking to him, and directly, and was just like, "Hey, dude, you gotta." Because his driving also was garbage. It's not like he was a good driver and he was saying these things. He was a bad driver. But every single time he'd pick us up, he'd always have... We nicknamed him Snackin' Jack. The reason we nicknamed him Snackin' Jack is because he'd always have a sandwich with him. But the weird thing is he'd never eat before we left or after we got to where we were going. He would specifically get food for the ride. He's the kind of person that would eat like a bowl of cereal while fucking driving. What does it matter with you, dude? He'd have a shawarma sandwich constantly and just be like, oh yeah, and pointing things out with his sandwich, getting pickles and shawarma everywhere. Motherfucker, put it down. One time we got to, we were picking other people up from the airport while we were on vacation, and he got to the airport and he had I can't even make this shit up. He had a ice cream cone with 3 scoops on it, and he went to the back of the car to take the luggage out, and one of the pieces of luggage was falling, and to save his ice cream cone, he let the luggage hit the ground.
Oh my
and we were like, you piece of shit. Literally to save his fucking 3 scoops of vanilla ice cream. This motherfucker that's just bad. That's just being a bad driver, a bad chauffeur. So that was one thing, and he was just a fucking mess. But we purposefully rode with the other driver whenever we could, because we would all load up in the trucks, in the cars, and me and my brother knew about it, so we were like, no, fuck it, we're going with the other guy. We sneak into that car. while driving, and this is the other driver, we were driving and we hit a guy. We hit a guy barely. We tapped him, but like there's a big circular a roundabout, and that's where the traffic is disgusting because there's people coming from every which way. But then the thing that makes like Lebanon traffic really insane is that there are people on mopeds everywhere, and they cut through traffic. So you have to make sure when you're opening your door, where you're parking, where you're turning, you always have to check out the blind spots because it's so easy to hit somebody. So we're like inching into the roundabout, and then this asshole on a moped comes in, and he squeezes in so tight that we accidentally tap the side of his moped. He stops in front of the car and just stares at us through the windshield. And at first we're like, why aren't we moving? And we all look up and we see this douchebag looking at us, just giving us like this glare, like he wants to fight. It's a car full of like guys, like my age and older. So we all look at him directly, and he looks at all of us and goes, nods his head, like, and then just drives away. And we're like, that's what we fucking thought, bitch.
Right.
Be on your merry way. Peace.
Be gone.
There was another thing like that was going on is like Lebanon has a lot of power outages. It's just like it's a countrywide thing, but in the more metropolitan areas they can't. It's like the energy, they can't support the energy because their wiring for everything is really messy, and they have to really kind of patch stuff together, which would be fine if all of the buildings we were in didn't have really shaky fucking elevators. Because what ended up happening 3 times while I was there, motherfucker, 3 times, was we would get stuck in the elevator, the power goes out, the lights go out, and there's no airflow, and there's no top part to open up just in case I wanted to like get out of the elevator in some sort of Die Hard style where I just fucking climb up the rafters and shit.
That.
Yeah, dude, because with 3 people in an elevator, if it goes out, the air starts going really quickly, and you panic, and you're sweating, and you're freaking out. We're hitting the alarm button. So the power outages were kind of crazy there. It was insane. On that same level, their Wi-Fi is terrible. And the Wi-Fi, what I mean by terrible is like, what's considered good Wi-Fi for them is like here, if you have 1 bar.
Damn.
That's like their good Wi-Fi. That's like, oh wow, you loaded up Gmail? No, motherfucker. Like, I need to be able to like watch YouTube videos and like watch like stream Netflix. That's not even a concept. Streaming to them is like foreign. They're like, what the fuck is? Wait, so you play the video and it goes from the internet? That's not. No, we can't do that. We can barely load up fucking a web search. What do you think we can? So the Wi-Fi.
It must be hard to like watch porn over there.
It.
Like,
Probably is.
They probably still buy magazines, honestly. They just go to the fucking convenience store and be like...
Pick up an Arab Playboy. Let's get this. Let's get this. I wouldn't be surprised.
Or they have really good imaginations.
Right? They just put the phone away and they're like, let's think about the girl I saw on the train the other day. Yeah.
Footnut.
Little ankle bone.
Shabloimps.
Fuck you.
This is my boy.
Oh, this is my boy. This is my boy. I'm gonna link that video in here too. Remind me. Link the Key and Peele. There's a skit. It's just fucking hilarious. I'm gonna link it in here. But yeah, the Wi-Fi's garbage, and it sucked. But as bad as it was, I was still able to get in some good games of Fortnite, which I thought was phenomenal. The fact that I can, like on shit Wi-Fi, Fortnite was still loading, just goes to show, props for the servers, guys. Epic Games, keep it up, alright? Because that was fucking great. And the best thing was, I was playing in Lebanon. And Lebanese Fortnite players are ass, dude. I was doing good. And I'm ass here, but over there, I'm a god.
You're like their ninja.
Dude, I was their ninja, yeah. They're like, oh my god, young Saudi's online. Wow. Yeah, I was killing it, and then promptly when I got back to the States, I played a game and I got my ass handed to me. I had my ass removed from my body and then handed to me on a silver platter. So I thought I was just good.
So yeah, welcome back.
Welcome back. It's good to be back. And then the last thing I'll talk about for that trip was the flight. The flight back was on some bullshit for 2 main reasons. This is where I want to break it down here, because I know that everybody listening to this, if you've been on a plane, you've had a bad flight from here and there, time to time, you'll notice this. The first thing, we flew Turkish Airlines. So, what I'd like to say there is, dear Turkish Airlines, fuck you. I hope you go out of business. I'm flying Southwest. The way they have their plane structured is so tight that the chairs in front of you, if somebody leans back, it's not just in your way, it's in your lap. It's so aggressive that, like, they brought the, like, shitty airline food to us, and we had the meal plate down, the little, like the tray. And so, if the chair slanted back like this in front of me, I literally can't put my head down to fucking eat my food. So I spilled food on my pants because this old couple in front of us decided to crank it all the way back, and even that far back, the lady in front of me goes, and like pushes it even further. You stupid old asshole. Like she does that, and like it's all in my shit. So imagine
I would have been kicking some seats.
That's what we were doing. So we finished the meals, me and my brother, because it was an old couple in front of me and my brother, and they like leaned all the way back. So we did a couple things to fuck with them. We put our meals back up. We put the trays in. When I put my tray up, I did it like I slammed it into the chair and I locked it like fucking
like
with
really passive aggressive.
Yeah, with a lot of fucking umph. And then like I put my knee up on the chair and like leaned back, and every time I'd see her try to go to sleep, I'd just be like, just fucking bump into her. You're not going to sleep. You're having to, and that's...
If I'm uncomfortable, you're uncomfortable.
Yeah, that was a 13-hour flight, motherfuckers, okay? You're going to be uncomfortable. Because if I'm going through this shit, yeah, you're going to get a knee to the back. So that was the first thing that was super frustrating. And another thing, my brother went to, like, you know how they have the little fucking screens in the plane seats? And you can play little fucking games, like shitty little games on there. So he opens up the games on there and just like points it really hard so that the headrest would just go up on the guy. The dude turns around like he couldn't believe.
The audacity you have.
I can't believe this is my first class in economy. Fuck you. So that was super frustrating. I barely got any sleep because of that. And then the other thing that happened was, all right, so once again, it's like a 12, 13-hour flight. And that's going from Turkey to Houston. In the middle of the flight, and this is like, everyone knows this. On a flight this long, this is just stuff you're supposed to do to be nice. It's common courtesy. Everyone... Okay, we're flying and it's daytime, but everyone's tired because the plane left at night, in like the middle of the night. It departed. So everybody's supposed to, like, close their windows. That's like, and literally the flight attendants are supposed to come by and be like, excuse me, sir, can you fucking close your window, please? Thank you. Supposed to do that. All of them were closed, except for, at one point they're all closed. And then on my right side, this little fucking kid, this little douchebag, opens his window all the way up. It's so bright that it fills the cabin completely. I see 3 to 4 other people turn around like, what the fuck is this? And I'm just glaring at that kid, and his parents aren't doing dick about it. I'm like, I couldn't even, so I literally, like, I pressed the flight attendant thing, and the flight attendant comes over, and I'm like, I'll try to be like really nice and shit about it. I was like, I'm trying to sleep, and I can't sleep because that window's up there. She's like, oh, okay, cool. She goes around, talks to the parent tells the kid to close it. Kid closes it, and I'm like, oh, thank God. So I start like falling. Like, you don't understand the level of brightness, because I guess technically there's no cloud coverage, right?
It's so like we're closer to the sun. Your phone in the middle of the night. Like,
yeah, it blasts you in the face. It's so bright that I go back to sleep after this little kid closes it, and with my eyelids closed, I can see the brightness because this little asshole opens it up again. I look over at him, and I could have sworn if there's a kid version of giving someone like the finger, that's exactly what the kid did. Because he looked at me, took his lollipop out, and licked it.
It's like,
and then sat back in his seat.
Like, what the fuck are you gonna do?
Yeah, like, fuck you, you little fucking broken condom, like, you piece of shit. It wasn't even a crying.
Should have swallowed.
Wow. Yikes. It's not like a crying child. This little kid was just, he was like 5, 6. He knew what he was fucking doing, but he just kept it up. So I stayed up the whole time. Damn. And when we got to Houston, I had jet lag. I was fucking murdered. I was dead about it. So, but all in all, the trip was fun. A lot of time with family. Some would even say maybe too much time with family.
So
I'll say it. Don't.
Put a good word, all right?
Jason's over here trying to get hooked up with one of my cousins, and that's nope. It's not. If you're listening to this, don't. He's a lost cause. Don't do that. And then so that was Lebanon. It was pretty fun. And you know what? Based on the time we have, let's go. The last thing we'll talk about, and we'll move the other thing. We'll move our 2019 expectations for all the shows and the movies coming up. We'll move that to next week's episode. But the very last thing we'll close it out with, I want to discuss, and I'll let you kick it off here. The Shiggy Challenge, or also known as the Kiki Challenge.
The really annoying challenge.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So, what are your thoughts on that? And if you want to break it down, explain what it is a little bit.
Do a little bit of both. At first, I was like, oh, that's cool. Like, after seeing a couple of videos. But then, like, throughout the week, it got really fucking annoying. Mm-hmm. Like, I was tired of the song. I was tired of seeing people dance. I was happy. Like, I saw some people get hit by cars, and I was like, yes! Like, you fucking deserve that.
Yeah, and that's when you know it's like everyone fucking hates it. Because people are like, that's what you get, motherfucker!
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's just one of those internet things that got burned out really fast. Like, it's kind of like what happened with Vines. Like, if a Vine used a song and it got popular, I freaking hated that song.
They would overdo it.
Yeah.
And then you get sick of the song.
Yep. So that's how the Chicken Challenge went for me.
For those of you who don't know what it is, if you don't know what it is, keep listening to our podcast, because we seem to be the only source of information for you. Because how the fuck do you not know what it is? But if you do not know what it is, the Shiggy Challenge is also called the In My Feelings Challenge. It's a song that Drake released on Scorpion, which, if you didn't see last episode, I didn't like Scorpion, so I fucking hate this challenge. But it's a song called In My Feelings. And the challenge is that you ghost ride your whip, as it were. You let your... That's one of the widest things I've ever said. Yeah. So you get out of the car while it's going, like, let's say 5 miles per hour. You leave the door open, and someone records you from the other side dancing to the song, and there's certain dance moves that you have to do. It was inspired by a guy named Shiggy, who started the whole damn thing. It got so out of hand that people were getting hit by cars. People were, like, having car accidents because they let their car... And there's videos where, like, it's like, Kiki Challenge gone wrong, and they get out, and they start doing it, and the car goes, like, 15 miles per hour, yeah. Which I don't think they understand how fast 15 miles per hour is.
Yeah, like, they trying to get back in the car and, like, end up falling down and shit.
They fall down, a wheel runs over them, I don't fucking care. And they just, they fall. It's hilarious. Yeah. I think that's what you get, bitch.
Yeah.
And so,
we're trying to go viral.
The Kiki Challenge was outlawed in multiple countries, including Dubai and Lebanon. While I was on my vacation, I actually saw people, not people doing it, but people showing me videos of it, and it was in Arabic, which was fucking weird. But, like, it was like they were doing the same thing, and I'm like, wow, this is global stupidity. This is insane.
Yeah.
So I can't believe that that's a thing. It looks like it's dying down.
Yeah, hopefully.
I hope it is. Yeah. Yeah. If you're listening to this and you think you might want to do the Shiggy Challenge,
just don't.
Don't.
Yeah.
Maybe, like,
do us all a favor.
Yeah. Do that. Maybe draw, like, paint that painting you were wanting to do, right? Yeah. Learn to play the piano.
Read a book.
Read a book, bitch.
Listen to a podcast.
Memes and Dreams. Weekly. Don't do the Shiggy Challenge. It's dangerous. And if any other reason, no one's doing it anymore. So now if you do it, you're just a lame bitch.
You're that asshole.
You're that asshole. Exactly. Oh, another Shiggy Challenge. Wow. I stopped going on Facebook for, like, a couple days because I just kept seeing that shit.
Every other post on Instagram was that. So
we're very anti-Shiggy Challenge here at Memes and Dreams Inc. So anyway, we looks like we're right at half an hour.
I just got one more quick thing.
Talk to me.
NFL football's back tomorrow. Thank fucking God. I can have something to look forward to in my life again.
We got a fresh season coming in hot.
It's gonna be nice. I can't wait for fantasy football and just Dallas Cowboys football.
Us and the boys were on a little draft for fantasy, so that'll be.
My life is complete again with football coming back. So.
How do you feel about your Cowboys this season?
We're going 10-6, and then we're gonna go win the Super Bowl.
Cool. Very hopeful thoughts.
Yep.
I'm all those things.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, we're all looking forward to it.
Yeah.
We'll have more stuff to talk about on the sports side of things.
Yeah, we'll talk about more of that next week.
And kind of give a little overview.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cool.
And make sure to stay tuned to the end. We got a little special surprise for y'all.
Oh, yeah. Special surprise.
Yep.
Cool. Yeah, stick around to the end. Because it's going to be a little something.
Yeah, you don't want to miss it.
You will not want to miss it, for sure. Alrighty. Well, if you have not gotten a chance to, please feel free to follow Memes and Dreams on all of our social media outlets. Currently, we are on Facebook, we are on Instagram, we are on Twitter, and the podcast itself you can find on either YouTube if you want to watch the video with it, or if you go on to Apple Podcasts. Apple Podcasts, you search Memes and Dreams. All of the links I'm going to provide at the very end of the video. You'll be able to see where to follow us there. Give us a listen. Check it out. If you like it, listen to it. Keep an eye on it.
Subscribe.
Rate it. Subscribe. Let us know what you think. Like, email us or comment or feedback's always appreciated. But really, this is for everybody listening. This is just something to kind of pass the time. Something to keep the entertainment.
Yeah.
So, cool. Well, this has been Memes and Dreams, episode 5. Thank you for listening.
We'll be back next week.
We'll be back next week. All right. Y'all have a great day and take it easy.